Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. VC, cheers to y'all. Back to do a quick video here. Actually doing a video response to a video that Life on This Planet blog put up a little earlier. It's basically excellent second albums, you know, sophomore albums by bands. You know, stuff that you thought was just, you know, just good sophomore albums after their initial albums. So just pulled out at least the ones that kind of, you know, pop right off the top of my head, and just thought I'd share those really quick and do a quick response to that video. Playing in the background, the one and only Shammy Davis Jr. I don't know, got in a little Sammy mood. It's a little dreary this morning, you know, kind of raining, kind of cloudy and stuff like that, so I don't know, I got the urge to pull out a little Sammy, a little Sarah Vaughan I was playing earlier. I don't know, just kind of hit me. But anyway, let me, hold on. Looks like that light was glaring a little bit in the camera there. So anyway, great sophomore album, just kind of jump right into it. First ones here are probably the ones that I think are the absolute best, maybe even to the degree they wish they wouldn't even have the first albums. No, I'm just kidding, but just talking about really just how great these albums were. First one I have to go with is Seal 2. I mean, that, I've talked about this album before. I think song for song, maybe next to Seal 4, truly his best work. But I mean, that was a fantastic sophomore album. I don't have to say anything about this one that more than speaks for itself. Black Sabbath's Paranoid. Here's one that maybe a lot of people don't think about unless you're really, really into this artist, Dido, Life for Rent. This is definitely her best work. I mean, I like every single song on this album, especially side 1 with White Flag Stone, Life for Rent, Mary's in India, See You When You're 40, Don't Leave Home. I mean, all just fantastic songs. So, I mean, pretty much I think only White Flag really got popular, if you will, off of this, but that was a great album right there. Another smash. I mean, no one can argue this one, whether you like the music or not. Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. That's an awesome one. Another great sophomore album. And again, forgive me too, I'm thinking all these sophomore albums, if I got any of them wrong, you know, I apologize or whatever, but I think all of these were their sophomore albums. But Night Ranger, I mean, again, this pretty much almost starts off Night Ranger's greatest hits. I mean, with You Can Still Rock in America, Sister Christian, When You Close Your Eyes, great stuff right there. Another, probably, in my mind, song for song, one of the best sophomore albums ever. One of the best albums ever. In my top 100 albums of all time, this is on it. And that would be Houdini's Escape. Totally blew it up with this album. Love it to death. All kinds of great stuff on there. And this one here is probably kind of in the same category. Arguably, I could figure out a way to rush this into my top 25 albums of all time. But Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down. Again, it's one that you may see flipping through a dollar bin, you kind of laugh and just go past it or whatever. But when you really think about what was on this album, you know, All Night Long, Penny Lover, Stuck on You, Running with the Night, Hello, and then you look at what it did, how well it did when it came out within months of the same time that Michael Jackson's Thriller came out. I mean, this album was a smash. Great sophomore effort by Lionel Richie. And then, of course, Led Zeppelin 2. That was a great follow-up. I actually like this a lot more than Led Zeppelin 1. I think that this album right here was, to me, more true to the sound that Led Zeppelin was going to carry, if you will, than Led Zeppelin 1 was. So I tend to like 2 better than that. Judas Priest, Sad Wings. I guess Of Destiny, technically, but oftentimes referred to just as Wings. But, yeah, I mean, again, great follow-up there. And, of course, one of my top 5 Judas Priest songs, top 3 Judas Priest songs, which is Victims of Change. I mean, that song is just early hard rock metal at its finest. EPMD's follow-up to Strictly Business, which is Unfinished Business, which is also a really good album there. If you recall, all of their albums was something business related. Unfinished Business, Business as Usual, Strictly Business, and kind of on and on. So, yeah, there was a sophomore follow-up, which is pretty good. As well as this one, you guys all know this, Molly Crew, Shout at the Devil. Don't need to say anything about that one. This one might be kind of interesting. I thought Van Halen 2 was a solid follow-up to Van Halen 1. Especially since Dance the Night Away is on this album, which is arguably one of my top 5 Van Halen songs. But then I think you also have to do a sophomore follow-up for Van Hagar, which is, of course, OU812. Which, again, I've said this a million times. I love both. I think the stuff they did with Roth was incredible. The stuff they did with Hagar was incredible. I think consistently, the stuff they did with Hagar was a little bit better album from album all the way down the line. I mean, even the, if you will, the first release by Van Hagar, you know, 5150, I mean, that album is perfection from front to back. So to follow it up as strong with this, that's a great sophomore album. Wild Nothing, you know, the first album was Gemini, and then they just came out Nocturne Year, which again is a really great album. I think really every single song, yeah, I have marked down here every single song on this album. Fantastic. Another good one here, follow up to Moneymaker, Shake Your Moneymaker by the Black Crowes. This is the Southern Harmony. Again, just another really good album. Side 1 alone here is just killer, even though the whole album is great. But songs like Sting Me and Remedy and Thorn in My Pride. And again, I know I've said this in a video in the past, but one time I bought a Black Crowes Greatest Hits CD, and on the cover there was a sticker that said, "The most rock and roll band ever," and I think that definitely describes them to a T. I mean, they mix so much into their music. It's southern rock, yet it's heavy rock, yet there's a very strong gospel presence in it. I mean, it's just like, it really is just like there's a blues presence in it. It's just all these different elements that people always point and say, you know, rock and roll started with Elvis Presley, rock and roll started with Muddy Waters, rock and roll started with Jerry Lee Lewis, or who else, Chuck Berry. Like, all those different elements coming from different places, it seems like they all kind of came and met into what they call the Black Crowes. So I have so much respect for this band, it's not even funny. So, I mean, just strictly based on their talent, just what they bring to the table. But moving right along, the Death Certificate, Ice Cube's follow-up to America's Most Wanted. Again, really good album here. My Summer Vacation, Steady Mobbin'. Again, some of his biggest hits. True to the Game, a lot of good stuff on that album. Foreigner's Double Vision. You know, of course, you got Double Vision, Hot Blooded. I mean, those are some pretty good songs to have on your follow-up album. And I guess I pulled out both of them. I have 2 Atlantic pressings of that. One is the silver label, and the other one is just the regular Atlantic label. So that's Foreigner Double Vision. And of course, whether you like this one or not, you have to give it credit, especially as a sophomore album. Madonna's Like a Virgin. Again, I guess this one flips like that. Again, don't need to say much about that. And the last one here, I should say, was kind of an obvious one for me, of course. Metallica's Ride the Lightning, follow-up to Kill 'Em All. Now, do I think this album is better than Kill 'Em All? No, I wouldn't say that. Is it? I don't know. It's different. It's a lot different than Kill 'Em All. I guess maybe that's the best way to put it. I shouldn't really compare them like that, but definitely a very good sophomore follow-up without question. Very tons of thrash metal bands that have wished this was their only release, much less a sophomore effort. Alright, so anyway, there you go. Want to just, like I said, do a quick response to this awesome thread question. And as always, VC, let me know what you think, and let me know if I got any of those wrong. Again, off the top of my head, I think those are all sophomore albums. But getting ready to run out, so we will see you guys later. Alright, take care, VC.